Hi, Caroline. Hi, Charlotte. It's Auntie. We're going to read a book today. This one is called Snow White and Rose Red. This is one of my favorites. I don't know if you can, the glare with this light is just always problematic, but it's fine. Okay, so Snow White and Rose Red. This was written by the Brothers Grimm. And this version is illustrated by Marjorie Cooper. She sounds like a delight. All right, so the story goes. There was once, let's see if can I do it this way? Is that good? Can you see? Okay. There was once a poor widow who lived in a little cottage with her two children, Snow White and Rose Red. They were so named because they were like the flowers on the two rose bushes which they grew in front of the cottage. These two children were as good as any children in the world. They loved each other dearly and agreed that they would never separate. That's just like you and Charlotte. Oh, sisters. We love a good sister story. Often, the children would run deep into the forest to gather berries. The hare would eat out of their hands and the fawn would graze at their sides. See? In the evening, their mother would say, "Go, Snow White, and bolt the door." Then the three of them would sit down before the hearth, and the mother would read out of a book while her children sat spinning. By their side lay a little lamb on a perch. Behind them, a little white dove rested with her head under a wing. I guess they have a pet lamb. And, oh, a dove. There she is. Okay. One evening, the snowflakes were falling. There was a knock at the door. Rose Red drew the bolt, and a great bear poked his head in. Rose Red ran back, the little lamb bleated, and the dove fluttered on her perch, and Snow White hid behind her mother. Look at that bear. What is he doing? The bear began to speak. "Do not be afraid. I will do you no harm. May I come in and warm myself?" "Poor bear," cried the mother. "Come on in and lie down before the fire," she said. Then she said to Snow White and Rose Red, "Come here, my daughters. The bear will not harm you." Soon the little lamb and the dove too overcame their fears and welcomed the visitor. "Children," said the bear, "please clean my snow off my coat." Snow White and Rose Red, can you see? Here we go. Snow White and Rose Red swept the snow off their brooms. Okay, we're gonna just take a deep breath because we're stuttering. Snow White and Rose Red swept the snow off with their brooms. Then the bear stretched himself before the fire. The children played with this clumsy animal. They pulled at his long shaggy hair. They set their feet upon his back and rolled him to and fro. The bear bore all their tricks good-naturedly, and if they hit too hard, he called out, "Leave my life, you children, Snow White, Rose Red, or you will never wed." This bear seems a little toxic. When bedtime came and the children had gone to sleep, the mother said to the bear, "You may sleep here on the hearth if you'd like." In the morning, the bear trotted away over the snow, but in the evenings he returned at a certain hour. He would lie down on the hearth and allow the children to play with him. That's nice. But one morning, when spring had returned and all was green again, the bear told Snow White that he must leave them and could not return for the whole summer. Snow White was sad to see the bear leave. As he passed through the door, his hairy coat caught on the bolt. Snow White thought she saw the glittering of gold under the coat. The bear ran off and was soon hidden behind the trees. I don't know about this bear. Some time later, the mother sent the children into the woods to gather sticks. They came to a tree lying across a path, and there was a dwarf with a wrinkled face and a snow-white beard. The end of his beard was caught in a splint of the tree, and the little man was trying to free himself. See, he's stuck. Look at his beard. Crazy. He glared at the children. "Are you going to pass by without offering to help me?" "What have you done, little man?" asked Rose Red. "I wanted to split the tree to get some wood for my fireplace, and my beard got caught." The children tried and tried to free the dwarf, but without success. Finally, Snow White pulled her scissors from her pocket and cut off the end of the beard. As soon as the dwarf was freed, he snatched up his sack, not his snack. The children saw that it was filled with gold. He threw it over his shoulder and marched off grumbling, "Stupid people to cut off a piece of my beautiful beard." Look at him, he's so ungrateful. I feel like this is going to take a turn. Sometime afterwards, Snow White and Rose Red went fishing. As they came near the pond, they saw the same dwarf hopping about on the bank. "What are you doing?" asked Rose Red. "You will fall into the water." "I'm not such a simpleton as that," replied the dwarf. "Don't you see that my beard is caught in my fishing line and this fish is pulling me in?" Snow White and Rose Red tried to untangle the dwarf's beard, but they could not. So Snow White pulled out her scissors again and cut off another little piece of the man's beard. See, they're trying to help him. He's a very angry dwarf. The dwarf cried out in a great rage. "It was not enough to shorten my fine beard once, but now you must take away the best part of it." With these unkind words, the dwarf took a bag of precious stones and slipped away to his cave. I don't like this dwarf. Not many days after this adventure, the children happened to pass the place where the dwarf was shaking out his bag of precious stones, thinking nobody was near. The bright stones glittered so that Snow White and Rose Red stopped to admire them. See them glittering? Look at how mean he is. He's scary. The dwarf suddenly appeared. "Why do you stand there gaping?" he raged. Suddenly there was a loud sound, roaring noise, and a great bear came out running from the forest. The dwarf jumped up, but he could not reach his cave before the bear overtook him. "Spare me, my dear Prince Bear," the dwarf cried out in fear. "I will give you all of my treasures. But what have you to fear from a little man like me? There are 2 wicked girls. Take them instead." Rude. But the bear gave the dwarf a single blow with his paw, and the bad-hearted dwarf did not move again. The children were running away, and the bear called after them, "Snow White, Rose Red, do not be afraid. Wait, I will go with you." See? Took care of that guy. And now they're running, but he's like, "Wait, no, I want to come. We're friends." And they're like, "I don't know, bear." The children recognized the bear's voice and stopped. To their great surprise, his rough coat fell off, and there stood a tall man dressed entirely in gold. "I am a king's son," he said, "bewitched by that wicked dwarf who stole all my treasures to wander in the forest in the form of a bear until his death released me." I told you it was going to get dark. In time, well, let's see. This is the prince, by the way. He used to be a bear, and it turned out that he was actually a prince. In time, Snow White was married to the prince, and Rose Red to his brother. Together, they shared a large treasure which the dwarf had collected. The mother also lived happily for many years with her 2 children. The rose bushes by the cottage were replanted in front of the palace, and every year they brought forth beautiful red and white roses in honor of Snow White and Rose Red. You see their castle? Where is it? There we go. See the bush, the rose bushes right here? That's the rose bushes, okay? Oh, I guess that story's over. That was weird. That was a weird book. I don't know why I chose that one. I'm really sorry. I thought it was going to be better. But that's the story, I guess. This isn't the version that I had when I was little. This is a different version that I found. I think this was in Uncle Brad's attic or something. Because my version, I think, was a little different. I'm going to have to find that one because it was way better. But that's the story. This is brought to us by the Checkerboard Press, whoever they are. And that's all that I've got for that story. I think the next one I'm going to do is going to be I think it's Life magazine special edition of the Queen Elizabeth II. So we'll do that next, but that was your story for today. And that's all. I got to go to work, so it's going to be a quickie. But I love you so, so much, and I love both of you. Don't forget, Charlotte and Caroline. I love you both. You're my sweet angel nieces, and you know, you remind me a lot of Snow White and Rose Red, but in a different version, not in this version. These girls are crazy. But also, like, don't marry a bear that you meet in the woods. That could be dangerous. Just consult with Auntie first, I guess. I don't know. We'll figure it out. That's all I got. Love you. Bye-bye.